Welcome once again to another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. Gather around your computer screen or wherever you're watching this at and get ready for two more very highly recommended fiction books. Hopefully, when you make your fiction reading list, these two will be added to your collection. The very first one is Vile Spirits, written by John Maclachlan Gray, and this is published by Douglas and McIntyre, and it retails for $29.95. This book is reportedly the sequel to his previous book, White Angel. Now, I did not read White Angel, and if you have not read White Angel, don't despair. This book stands alone on its own merit, and you really, maybe after reading this, you might want to read the first book, White Angel, but anyways, if you haven't, this book is just great by itself. It looks at Vancouver during the 1920s Prohibition times when there was lawlessness, the booze was flowing like water, and there were some interesting times back in the seedy, dark times of Vancouver. And the book starts out with the murder of the head of the liquor board, and his name is Gordon Canning. And actually, the night before, there was a big reception for His Royal Highness Prince George, and the next morning, the man is found dead, Gordon Canning, with a martini glass in his hand, and it almost looks like natural causes. But there's something else going on, so Detective Sergeant Calvin Hook looks into the death, and he thinks it's rather odd. So after that, there's another death of Agatha Crombie. She is the wife of a prominent politician. So there's two deaths that he must investigate, and he's not sure whether the two deaths could be linked. Now, he has help in his search. One of the helpers is, I'm looking for the name, Ed McCurdy. He's a reporter. And he also gets the help of Mildred Wickstrom, who is a telephone operator. So with the three of them, three are better than one, of course, and when you're looking for some very strange deaths and reasons for the deaths, it's the more the merrier when it comes to finding answers and finding those responsible. So the book is very interesting too because it also looks at racism around that time in Vancouver and the birth of the Ku Klux Klan that was coming into Canada, and there were a lot of groups that were racially motivated into creating hate groups against other people. So it's got a little bit of everything. But the way that John Maclachlan Gray writes the book, you almost feel like you've stepped back into 1920s Vancouver. It has that noir feeling to it, like a classic old detective mystery, the dime store mysteries that you used to read back in the 1930s or so. So if you're looking for a book that's very different and you like historical mystery fiction, this book is definitely not a vile book. It's very spirited, and once you start it, you will not be able to put it down. So Vile Spirits is the first book that I recommend this time out. And the second book, and I'm not going to lie about this, is The Lying Club. And it is written by Annie Ward, and is published by HarperCollins, and it retails for $24.99. This is a very complex mystery that really revolves around three women, and two of them have children. Now, the book begins with Natalie Bellman, who works at the Falcon Academy. It's a very elite school, and she wakes up in the parking lot of the academy, and she has no idea how she got there. It's almost like she's been drugged. She's very groggy. She staggers from her car, and something tells her to go inside the academy, because that's where she works. But she wonders if she should be going to work in her condition. So she looks into the gym, and on the floor is the body of a man. And blood is all over the place. Now, right when it starts out, we're unsure who the body belongs to. And so as we find out, the book moves 6 months into the past, and it sort of works its way up to how we got to the stage in the opening chapter of the book. Now, there are two other women who are part of the story. The first one is, and I'm checking my notes here, Brooke Elliman. She's an heiress, and she's very hoity-toity. She's very rich. And she has a daughter named Sloane. And the other woman is Asha Wilson and her daughter Mia. Now, the girls go to the Falcon Academy, Mia and Sloane, and they are members of the soccer team. And one of the teachers there, Nick McGuire, is the coach of the team. And he pushes the girls to be greater. Now, they're very good to begin with. Mia and Sloane are excellent soccer players. But there's something going on, and as we find out, Nick McGuire is not exactly the world's greatest man. He's sort of, well, without giving too much of the story away, he is a man who takes advantage of young girls, let's put it that way. And so what we have is one of the women, the three women, well, Natalie wakes up in the parking lot, so, but could she have done it? Or could the other two women have done it for revenge against what has happened to their daughters? Now, Mia and Sloane become very good friends. And the fact that they're teenagers and they've been invited to parties with boys means their life is changing and they're hard to control. And so it's a lot of complexities in the Lying Club. The book is dark at times, and as the book progresses toward the present, we find out more about Nick McGuire, we find out more about the women in the book, and we find out, well, is Natalie motivated by revenge or something else? So the book really is a psychological mystery thriller. So if you're looking for books that don't come out right away with the actual clues to the killer, where you have to read page by page and you take every little bit, so you can decide too who the killer might be. I like those kind of books because you don't immediately know, oh, that's the killer. Well, you're not sure who the killer is and why there is revenge against the killer. So anyways, The Lying Club is definitely the second book this week that you should definitely add to your reading list. So those are the two books that I wanted to draw to your attention, Vile Spirits and The Lying Club. So please send me your comments, whether you agree with me or not. I always welcome them. And I welcome your comments about all my other videos. If you have not seen them, I have over 150 other book review videos on YouTube and the Shelf Life Facebook pages as well. And I'm on Goodreads too, under Paul Suter. There's over 400 reviews there. So thanks again for your time. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay sane, stay social distancing, and do stay in touch. We'll talk real soon. Bye for now.